What's up, guys? Welcome in. Happy Friday. Beautiful day. Well, at least it is here, kind of, in Indiana. You know, since it's a beautiful day here, it means it's a beautiful day everywhere. We're going to do some live mocks today, some startup mocks, basically just talk football, whatever you guys want, for a good chunk of the day, and do some team reviews if you guys are feeling it as well, and just enjoy hanging out on June 27th, the week before, the Friday before July 4th, which, oh wait, is July 4th on a Thursday this year? I think it's on a Thursday this year, actually. Anyways, welcome in. You guys know the drill. Get a live team blueprint or sign up for the annual Mother Flocker tier during the stream, so that starts now. If you sign up for the annual Mother Flocker tier during the stream with code DOMAIN, you have to use code DOMAIN, you can just submit your team with that free voucher, and I'll do it live for you. There's also the a la carte option. If you've already signed up to get additional ones, you can just slide up to the live team blueprint option. We got 2 in the queue right now, so if you want to be one of the first ones in line and not have that much of a wait, then I would recommend signing, or I would recommend getting one in now. Sunraker, what's up, man? Nice emoji. I did not make that. I did not approve of it. It just happens to be there. Becca definitely made that. And also, if you like look at it up close, she literally aged me. She made me look like I was 65, which I'm not. But she did, because she was like, well, it's because you have a birthday every day. I was like, that's not funny. What's up, Arcris? Hey, Bajords, Dylan, Matt, you trash me all the time. You trash us all the time with basketball. Still love you. Troy, yo, what's up? Always a beautiful day in Arizona. Yeah, I understand that now. I will say the Tucson trip in April was very nice. It was very hot. I didn't realize, like, it's literally like Texas heat. Like, you get up to like 115 degrees there. It's kind of insane. Like, how do you live from May to August? I mean, the rest of the year, I guess, is great. So, I don't know. Maybe it's the same question that you'd be asking us. Like, how do we live from December to March? So, yeah. Did you guys know Shuck is more likely to win Rookie of the Year than Hampton, according to betting odds? That's actually pretty funny. But also, I guess that isn't like the biggest shocker to me. That's a fun fact, and I wouldn't have guessed that, but I guess I'm not shocked the more I think about it, because quarterbacks just tend to win Rookie of the Year. They kind of get the upper hand over any skill position. I mean, if you remember a couple years ago, Puka had the greatest rookie season for a wide receiver of all time, and Stroud beat him out because Stroud was a quarterback, and Stroud was really good, and he deserved it. But I mean, it's very unlikely that if a rookie quarterback is going to come out and look really good, that he's not going to win Rookie of the Year, even if some of these skill position guys do. I mean, Jaden Daniels automatic last season. Would have been Bo Nix if Jaden Daniels hadn't done that, you know. The 4th is Friday. Okay, cool. Carson says, happy birthday, Nathan. Thanks, dude. It's not my birthday. I appreciate it, though. I really do. Have you looked into the 26 class? Curious to see your thoughts on a way to early rankings. We have glanced at the 26 class. Ryan Bread, who works on the bakery, has he has been working on the 26 class, guys that are expected to declare eligible and whatnot. We have taken a look at that, and I will say it's looking to be a pretty normal class. There's been a lot of talk about it, you know, sucking. 27 is all the rage right now. And for all intents and purposes, at least right now, again, this could all change because of guys that come back for NIL and stuff like that. Like, I'll be completely honest, as good as I think the quarterback class is going to be next year, I'm not even factoring in Arch Manning. I think Arch Manning is going to stay another year. So I wouldn't even consider him a class of 2026 guy. He would have to be a guaranteed top 3 pick and probably be a Heisman candidate next year for him to actually declare. Traded Roman 2 seconds for Rashid. I like that deal. I think that's pretty good. I think they both have pretty much the same amount of value upside, and one of them's a little more proven than the other. I think Rashid is a good move there. Nathan talks at 1/100th of the speed of Avery. I mean, I'm a slow talker, and he definitely talks a lot faster than me. 1/100th. That would mean that Avery gets 100 words out before I get out one. Okay, maybe that's I guess I see what you're saying, but also like that's pretty dang slow. Or I would be trying to get out one word and he would already say 100. Yeah. If you want some insight, Fantasy Stock Exchange did some vids for 2026. That doesn't surprise me. FSE is always on top of the rookie stuff. I swear, guys, like it would be very merited to believe that like, hey, we go on camera, we talk all this stuff, and then we're off camera and we just like shut down. Danny and Bush are all ball 24/7 constantly. Like all they talk about is they love football so much. Like I don't think I've ever met anyone like them before. Like literally all they want to do all day is just talk ball. Like the camera turns off and they are the same. We love them for it. We make fun of them about it all the time too, because they're just always, especially Danny. And if you get Danny going with the Cowboys stuff, it's even more fun. Who are your early most exciting rookies for next year? I have easily the most likely 101. Yeah, so obviously everyone's talks about Jeremiah Love being the, locked in 101 right now. I mean, we were kind of saying that about Ollie Gordon last year, and I see it with Jeremiah Love. I think he's going to be really good. If I were to bet, I'd say he'd at least be a top 3 pick next year because of his position and his potential draft capital. He obviously has to show it again this year. He missed a good amount of time last season with injury, but I mean, he looks legit. There's a lot of up-and-coming quarterbacks that really could make some noise. I mean, you've got Nesmeyer from LSU. You got the guy out of South Carolina who I kind of fell in love with this last year. He's probably going to be my guy unless he like sucks this season. I'm going to keep watching him, but I really liked what I saw last season. And then you've got obviously Drew Aller, who could take another step up this year. Quarterbacks are just so up and down, so volatile. The guys who are going to be favorites to be top options next year end up being not even considered a day 2 pick. And it's kind of all over the place there, but there are a ton of quarterback candidates that I think have a good chance at being risers, guys that we haven't even talked about that are on no one's radar and will rise. That happens every year as well. That was the case with Jackson Dart last year. My next draft will be 10 teams, start 11 derby, 3rd round reversal, half PPR, 1.5 for tight end. Would you take Bowers 1st round and any tips? I think it really just depends on how the board falls, man. We have to know a little more contextually there, but like with 1.5 tight end premium over a half PPR, like I think it's totally merited taking him there. Pacers fans' favorite month is almost over. I've probably watched it, Dylan. Haha. Jeremiah Love, yeah. What's up, Nathan? Hey, Jeb. Nice job at helmet on your shelf. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. My Legos are like my pride and joy, dude. I literally thought about changing up the setting for you guys heading into today, but I'm like so obsessive about like the settings being consistent, and like my Vader bust has to be with the meditation chamber and his, like little scene where he like goes down, in A New Hope in Rogue One, and kicks butt against all the rebels and stuff. That all has to be like together. It wouldn't make sense to put like a Vader bust by the Mos Espa pod race, right? You can't do that. Those are 2 different eras, 2 different times. Everything has to fit, makes sense. So I would have to like reshake up all the settings and stuff, which takes time. What's up, Nathan? If I have Travis Hunter as my wide receiver 1 or 2 in a rebuild, should I try to pivot or down tier? I'm good holding Travis Hunter right now. Just in a vacuum, I am. As a rebuild, I'm totally okay with that. He has a good amount of value upside. I mean, there's a chance that he can match or exceed BTJ's value right now, and BTJ isn't guaranteed to, necessarily maintain. He could fall a half round, but so could Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, the name value alone with him, like if the Dynasty community sees Travis Hunter put up 80% of BTJ's rookie production this year, He'll match BTJ's value. The Heat isn't that bad, better than the cold where I moved from in Minnesota. Dude, you went from Minnesota to Arizona? That's kind of crazy. Dang, so you have experienced it all. But George, should I regret trading Hunter for Igbokwe, Caleb Johnson, Judkins in a future 26 second? No, that's what he's worth, and I think that's a pretty good deal there. Purdy or Trevor Lawrence, 6-point passing touchdown. Give me Purdy. Arizona, 105 to 110 this week, dipping down in the 90s next week. Gonna be nice. Ooh, 90s. What? How do you go from 105 to 110 to the 90s? You're gonna have like the same heat that we have in Indy right now. It's like insane right here. We've been like 90 to 95 every day for the last like 2 weeks, and the heat index has been like 105. So it's kind of sucked. Shuck can be happy beating the starting quarterback being the starting quarterback in 2026. Yeah, possible. He has to show up this year. I've been in Colorado when it was 92, easy living compared to 92 in the Northeast. Humidity sucks. Yeah, 100%, dude. 90 degrees in Colorado, it's like so dry there that you could be getting scalded and burnt and fried to a crisp and you wouldn't even know it. I know this from experience. I did a 14er probably like 4 years ago in July, like the heat of July, and that's what the temp was. Couldn't even tell. Came back and I was literally peeling like a lobster for the freaking 2 weeks afterwards. The hike was so worth it though. It was awesome. I did Grays and Torreys. Grays and Torreys is like, it's like a double mountain almost where you can do both. You like peak one and then you just walk across this pass to the other. I just did one of them because we had to go back down, but it was really pretty cool. Thoughts on sending Ladd and Rice for Jefferson? I probably shouldn't since I don't have the depth, but curious. If you don't have the depth, then you can just hold there. Agreed if you want more takes. Bush has done some vids with the prospect model. Yeah, prospect model is on the site. He actually developed that, so it's a pretty good tool. It's got all the information that you need for prospects in terms of like statistics. Just like hard stats if you just want to know and you want to sort by any specific statistical metric for these prospects. It's a pretty handy tool there. Grade the trade. I traded Prescott. This is from Brandon. Prescott, Waddle, Chase Brown, Komet, 25-2, and a third for Murray, Achane, and Evans and Odunze. Oh, dang. So you got most valuable, most valuable, most valuable, most valuable. Holy cow, this guy overvalues Prescott and Waddle and Chase Brown like crazy. Jeez Louise, nice deal. That's a 10 out of 10. Good gosh. How'd you do that? I have Jefferson, Rice, and Ladd in my main Dynasty league. I love Rice too much to give him away. I think he has top 5 wide receiver upside. I agree, dude. He was a top 5 wide receiver for the first 2.5 games that he was playing last year. They look like they're going to want to utilize him like that again. They were really hurting when they lost him to the injury for sure. Oh man, I got to answer this one all the way down here. Yo, Nathan. What's up, Aldi? Nerd question. Do you think Anakin and Vader are two different people or separate? They are the same. The character arc of Anakin Skywalker includes Darth Vader, and you see that really unravel as you obviously you have the connections of the prequels to the originals, and that in my opinion just makes like Return of the Jedi and the interaction between Vader and Luke like that much more emotional, because you can just like, I mean, every line where Vader's talking about, like it's too late for me and all these different things, like it's just, there's so much more weight that goes into like everything that he says because of what happens in the prequels. They're the same person. He is Anakin Skywalker. So yeah. Anyone who thinks that they're separate characters, like I think those are people that are just kind of tied to the originals, grew up on the originals, and they can't ever like, they can't ever bring them together. They just, they grew up on Vader and they never had that backstory with Anakin like, we were able to grow up with. So do I trade Daniels and 25-110 for Marvin Mahomes? Yeah, that's not bad. I think I'm okay making that deal. Maybe you try to get a little something back in return, or try to make that 25-110 like a lesser pick. But yeah, I don't mind that at all. Traded away Rice, Henderson, Mason for Nico, Chase Brown, Igbuka, and an early 22nd second round pick. Easy dub, right? I think that's a really good deal. You obviously in a vacuum prefer Nico over Rice just for market value alone, and then Chase Brown, Igbuka for Henderson essentially. And I think that's a fair deal. So yeah, I'm good with that. Start 10, half PPR, half tight end premium. Do I give up Bowers for BTJ and Achane? Yes, I would do that even in a tight end premium. I'm excited to watch Tyson this year in Tampa now that I live here. Tyson who? You'll have to tell me. Very similar to those guys who are elite, great route runner, plus yak, plus contested catch is going to be alpha with leave it. I think you guys are talking about Tyson. Jordan Tyson? Okay. Is he a prospect for 2026? That sounds familiar. Traded Devontae, Scat, and Giddens for DJ Moore and what should be a top 4 pick in 2026. Good deal. So DJ Moore in a first for Devontae, Scat, and Giddens. I think that's a fair deal. Probably could have tried to leave Scat out of that. But no, I think it's a fair deal, actually. Let's try not to spam the chat here, guys. If you put a trade question in, don't spam it, please. Thank you much. I'm gonna clear those out for my reference. All right. So when are we doing the mock? We're gonna do it right now. I'm gonna drop the link in here, guys. First come, first serve. Traded Igbuka for James Cook. No, I would hold Igbuka there. Yes, he's wide receiver 1 upside prospect in Bush's model. Okay, cool. Grew up watching the prequels first. Anakin turning to Darth Vader. Biggest plot twist when you never seen Star Wars but knew Vader. Yeah, that is actually, dang. That is quite an experience. See, I was raised, I don't want to say right, but I will. I was raised right, and I was started, my parents started me on the originals. Like, you have to watch the originals first, and then you can watch the prequels the way that it was intended, the way that they were released. And then after that is when I watched like Clone Wars, Rebels, and then obviously all the shows have been coming out. But yeah, have any of you guys seen the Christmas special? And have any of you guys seen Spaceballs? Do you know they're doing a Spaceballs sequel? Only 16 likes. Drop a like. Yeah. Hey, what's up, KT? I appreciate it, man. Yeah, if you haven't dropped a like on the stream, we got 90 people watching, only 18 likes. So drop a like if you haven't yet. Gotta watch the OG movies first. Yeah, 100% agree. Gotta make sure you're watching Rogue One last as well. Well, last being if you want to watch them after you watch the prequels, that's fine, but don't watch them obviously before. You have to watch them after the prequels, after the originals, after the prequels. If you don't want to watch the sequels before you watch Rogue One, I don't really care. That's splitting hairs. Rogue One came out the Christmas after Force Awakens came out, so they were very close together. Rebels 100% rules. How old are you? Is this your main job, Justin? Yes, this is my main job. It actually was effective April. So I graduated college in January. I graduated a little bit early. I wanted to get out of there as quick as I could with my undergrad. And I actually got a full-time job that I started right out in January. And then we've been doing really well. So I ended up deciding to go full-time in April, right before the NFL draft. How do I get the domain label in YouTube? It's just like a $1 member thing or something. You just sometimes memberships are gifted in here, and you can be lucky if you do that. But it's just it's like $1. Traded Devonta Smith. No one wants my QB 3 or 4. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You just kind of gotta wait, be patient until you can figure something out there. Nathan, what's your favorite Star Wars show, live or animated, and why? Clone Wars, not a question, not close. Andor is up there. If you're talking like live action, I go Andor, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka would be my top 3. Mandalorian was fun. A lot of people love Mandalorian. I do too. I enjoy it. It's almost kind of its own thing. But, you know, for story advancement, emotional sake, you got to go with the ones where Hayden Christensen is in it, for Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. And Andor is just one of the best. It honestly is one of the best TV series that I've like ever seen. It was so well done. But yeah, Clone Wars, I'll swear by Clone Wars forever, dude. Like they did that so well, especially season 6 and 7 were incredible. Loved how season 7 was literally happening in the midst of, or in the middle of the timeline for Revenge of the Sith. It made it really crazy. Gotta go to Bakersfield in a couple weeks. 118, dude. I do not envy you. Got offered JSN for my Pickens and Trevor Etienne. Jeez Louise, just take it and run, dude. You took the time to put that in the chat and let us know before you accepted it, before it's like rescinded. Just go do it. My team's stacked and I have depth at every position. Should I just try to win or trade some bench? Pearsall, Odunze, Henderson, Caleb, T-Law. I mean, if your team's stacked, then win. If your team's stacked, why would you not want to win? That would be my question. All right, Dynasty boy, let's get the show on the road. Yeah, sorry guys, I got distracted again. Let's do this for real. I'm gonna send the link in here. I'll drop it in the chat. Copy invite link. All right, guys. First come, first serve. Get in here. Once it's filled, we'll go 30-second clock. It's a fast draft, fast mock draft. Congratulations, Owa. Or wow, Owa. Congratulations, Owen Oatley, Etranso, Kelsey, Birdman, man. Wow, double man, Birdman. Have you checked out any 26 QBs? If so, any quick thoughts? Yeah, I mentioned some earlier in the stream. I think Nessmeyer obviously is going to be an interesting case. I think the guy out of South Carolina, I keep blanking on his name. I really, really, really like him a lot. He might be my favorite quarterback prospect going into this class. Obviously, everyone's going to be talking about Arch Manning. I wouldn't count on Arch Manning declaring. I'm not factoring that into the 26 class thing right now. I'm just not. I'm not counting on that. There we go. We're already filled, guys. Wow, sweet. Okay, so we're going to move over here. And let's do this thing. Wait, no. Muted. There we go. Okay, so you guys won't have to deal with that noise. It's so annoying. No. I don't want to join the voice chat. Oh, go away. Go away. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, I could tell you all about the QB class and be like, hey, these guys are going to be amazing. At the end of the day, half of the top quarterback prospects in every single class end up being guys that you didn't expect. And half of the guys that you expected to be really good end up falling off, having to go back for a year if they do declare they're a day 3 pick. So honestly, it's kind of so-so there. But I will say, like, eyes on the South Carolina guy, I'm a big fan. Startup league, just a McCaffrey for Worthy straight up. Good or bad on my part. I like taking Worthy there. What's the most you would pay for Henry? If you are the heaviest of contenders, you can pay your 26 first. That is the absolute highest I would go. Who got Nathan started on Star Wars? Start dropping Happy Gilmore references. Puka or London and Brees? I'd take London and Brees there. I like Puka a lot, but I think London, honestly, could be viewed in the same tier as Puka. Have Amon-Ra, BTJ, McLaurin, Hunter, and Sutton. Yeah, you can go London and Brees there. Pearsall or Tootin? Give me Pearsall. Nathan, watch the NFL Stock Exchange vids. Very useful. Oh, you were talking about NFL Stock Exchange, not FSE. Or were you? Did QBs, running backs, and wide receivers the NFL Stock Exchange? Yeah, no, honestly, I haven't seen their work on the 26 class, but I know of the channel, so sure they've been putting out some good content with those with that topic. I bought a live team review last night. Are you doing any tonight, or is that for another stream? Yeah, Robert, appreciate you getting one. If you bought one last night, a live team blueprint, then you should be in the queue. Are you Shore Fun? If you're Shore Fun, which I think you are, I've got your live team blueprint in, man. I've got Cole Witties and I've got Shore Funds. If that's your Flock username, one of those, then I've got you, brother. And yeah, I'll be doing those tonight. Nathan, fix draft settings. What's wrong with the draft settings? Why would the ADP be set for 1 QB? Ugh. Sorry, guys. This is so dumb. Oh my gosh. I set it to PPR. There you go. It's updated. Thank you. You guys adjusted well. Jeez. I mean, Burrow going at the 2.5, not normal. But honestly, across the board here, not bad. Sorry, guys. Freaking Sleeper is like, do you want to do half PPR, standard, or PPR? I was like, okay, PPR. Then the other option is Dynasty 2 QB. Okay. Rogue One is the only Disney Star Wars movie that has any quality. The rest really sucks. Not the hottest of takes. Traded Devonta Smith plus 26 first row Dunze and a 27 second. Was it good? I think it's a fair deal. You probably could have avoided the first for second swap because Odunze and Smith, market value wise, are generally value equivalent. But do I think that'll pay off long term? I think there's a good chance it will. Where Odunze stands here at the Dynasty domain. Avery is doing well, by the way. He's enjoying the Hawaii landscape. Freaking lava rock there slaps. He saw like 4 barracudas yesterday. I was there and I snorkeled like 5 different times. I did like 2 excursions and like 3 on my own, and I never saw any barracudas. I saw pufferfish, I saw manta rays, I saw a stingray, I saw more sea turtles than I could count. Never saw any barracudas, which I don't know if I would be like bummed about that because they kind of freak me out, but pretty cool. Would you trade Trey Harris and Najee for Terry and Devin Neal? Yes, I would happily do that. No problem. Trade Lennon and Jacobs for Bowers and Higgins. Yes, I would do that deal as well. I like that. That's a good move in a halftime premium. Would you tier up from Penix? Don't feel too high on him. You can stick with them. If you tier up to them, then you're just going to the very top of that tier. That's like, I honestly don't really think it's worth it right now because Penix is going at the bottom of that super large tier of quarterbacks. Yeah, totally agree with you, Aldi. Would you buy Devontae or DK if your wide receiver room was Evans, Myers, Reed, Ayuk, Keenan, and Judy? Oh man, I would buy someone higher than Devontae or DK. You need to get a cornerstone wide receiver, dude, if you're looking to compete. I mean, you need to get a JSN level guy at least. Thinking of trying to trade Achane for Marv. What are your thoughts? Guy with Marv wants a first on top. He wants a first on top. Achane and a first from Marv. Probably just sit tight. Can you try for another wide receiver in that range, like a Ladd or a JSN, and see if you can pay less than that? Kind of view Marv in the same tier as those guys. What platform are you doing the mock draft on? We're doing it on Sleeper. Would you trade Lawrence and Marv for Nix and Hunter? Yes, I would do that. Hunter is right there by Marv, and then Nix over Lawrence by a good amount. So looking at this mock so far, again, outside of the freaking ADP being wrong, nothing super out of the ordinary for the first couple of rounds. You can kind of ignore Burrow falling that far. He wouldn't have if it weren't for the ADP. But yeah, we've got Marv here. We're just talking about JSN, Marv, and then Ladd all going there in the same range. AJ Brown, that's on the higher end of where you expect to see him go. That honestly, that's kind of a throwback to what he used to be consistently priced at in the early off season, which is when we were saying he's a sell. He's fallen a full round since then. Consensus. Hampton Achane back-to-back. I like it. Rashee Rice obviously rising slowly but surely with all the news that he's going to be a full go for training camp. Great news for him. Great news. Super excited about that. Bucky at the 3.9 on the higher end of where he usually goes. And you've got Tet, Higgins, and Stroud. You got all these QBs here again, like Nix, Herbert, Stroud. Like that question earlier about up-tiering from Michael Penix, like Penix is going 6th round right now. Into up-tier 3 full rounds, you're getting Nix, Herbert, or Stroud, and their production upside is the same. So I just don't think it's worth it unless you just pay big bucks to get one of these guys up top, and I just don't think it's worth it there. If you don't like Penix, I would pivot to Goff or Dak. There goes Hunter at the 4.5. So, geez. Whew. Hunter at the 4.5. That's a lot later than I'm used to. That is, dang. That's a pretty good deal. CMC at the 4.3 is very high as well. That's like throwback to last offseason. Closer to what he was being priced. He was going like mid-third last offseason. Vincent, what's up, man? He said, I traded AR, Daniel Jones, 25,107, and 26 first for Caleb Williams. 25,304 second. So Caleb Williams. AR in the 107 and 26 first for Caleb Williams. I think it's a fair deal. What do you think of this trade? Fair deal. I maybe not even fair. Maybe like edge to Caleb Williams because he's a second round startup pick right now. I think that's a dub. I like that move for Caleb. Why the frick is Burrow going in the mid-second? Yeah, I talked about that earlier. The ADP was set to freaking redraft because of my bad for the first round and a half. So, but also sleeper. It's so confusing. Traded Devonta Smith plus a late first. We already looked at this one. Try not to spam the chat, please. You're fine, Eduardo. I appreciate it. OTC in a Superflex Titan Premium, Olave, Hawk, Metcalf, or Mixon. Roster so far is Hurts, Puka, Jason, Tet, Baker, and Flowers. Olave, Hawk, Metcalf, or Mixon. Let's go Olave there. Olave's the market move. Olave or DK, your choice. I would probably give the edge to Olave. I have JJ, Nico, Jason, Rice, Bentley, Henderson, and Scat at running back. Which wide receivers should I trade, and which running back should I possibly trade for? All right, I'm going to make this complicated for you, Carson. Down tier from Nico to AJ Brown or Higgins, and then get a veteran running back on top. That way you're not sacrificing your wide receiver strength, and you're getting some more running back help. As a contender, would you trade Kyler and Garrett Wilson for Amon-Ra? I got Brock and Caleb already. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. Price you got to pay to up tier. It's definitely pricey. Can you get a little something back? Try to get a little something back, if possible. Dude, Aldi, you live in Hawaii? You live in Oahu? Nice. Avery's on the Big Island. I was on the Big Island a couple weeks ago too. We literally both went to like the same spot. I had we had our trip planned, I think, in January, and Avery didn't know yet, and he booked a trip to Hawaii, Big Island, same spot that we had just like figured out we were going there too. So it was like pretty coincidental and hilarious. So we're all like at the same spot. So he's texting me all the things that he's doing. I'm like, yeah, did that. Yeah, no, it's Hawaii is pretty awesome, man. The time change screwed with my wife and I big time on the way back. Losing 6 hours is obviously a lot tougher than gaining 6 hours. But geez Louise, it was brutal, more brutal than normal, because we're used to like adjusting to time changes. We do a good amount of international travel. But man, it was beautiful. It was awesome. I did a big family trip there, so it was me and like my wife and I and our extended family. So there are like 16 people there, and we were all together, so it was a good time. Avery, it's just him and his wife there for a little getaway for, I think they're there for another like 6 days still. So they're there a little longer than we were. But yeah, no, it's amazing there. And I will say, like, I went to the Bahamas in January for a week, and I was just blown away at how different both of them are and like unique in their own way. I did not expect, I mean, obviously everyone knows Hawaii, volcanoes, stuff like that. I didn't understand how like volcanic the landscape was going to be, like just lava rock all over the place. And it was super, super cool. Very rocky beaches, tough to find some beaches on the Big Island. There are some, but then you go like to the other side in the park and it's like all rainforest jungle. That was really cool. So love it. I'm sure you love living there, dude. I envy you, man. It's amazing there. We would have, if my wife had gone just the two of us, we probably would have island hopped and hit up Oahu and wanted to go to Kauai as well. And, you know, got to see Maui too. But yeah, no, Big Island was honestly, it was great. And the volcano was erupting while we were there. So that was also fun. It wasn't like, you know, the big Mount St. Helens type eruption that you would imagine. It was like, you know, it's erupting, it's active, doing its thing, but it wasn't like impacting the, you know, air quality or anything like that. We're back to using Sleeper for mocks. Rip the duck. Yeah, no, I'm just doing Sleeper mocks for now because honestly, there have been some things that we've been working on with the mock draft tool on the site, but I will get to doing some of those on the site as well, to utilize those tools. So Warren goes here at the 5-5. You obviously have a run of running backs. Get used to this, guys. This run of running backs, whether it happens in the 4th or in the 5th, it's going to happen because there's such a drop-off afterwards. This big range of Henderson, Judkins, Taylor, Kyron, Jacobs. Henry is starting to go too high, but you know, James Cook as well, Chase Brown, like all those guys, big chunk of running backs going in that range. Caleb Johnson, Harvey. Get used to it, man. The running backs are taking over that mid-range because of the tier drop-off of wide receivers after Odunze. Love, McCarthy, Lawrence, Goff, Ward, Penix at the 6-6. Still turn into one of my favorite picks. Purdy and Baker, some of my favorite picks in the 5th round. I'm liking it here. Nothing super out of the ordinary right now with this mock. We'll do another one if you guys are feeling it. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to do another mock after this. We're just doing 12 rounds, 30-second clock. Pretty low key, just for you guys to kind of exercise your, you know, startup muscles, and again, just hang out, get a feel for the market. Half PPR, 14-team Superflex, 1-year rebuild. Should I be trading JT for Rashee straight up? 100%. Absolutely. I would absolutely move JT for Rashee. That's a good rebuild move. Keon in a second for Bryce in a Superflex. Bryce. Would you trade Harris and make Harris for Terry and Devin Neal? Trade Trey Harris and make Harris for Terry and Devin. The Terry and Devin Neal deal earlier? Yeah, no, I broke that down earlier. I would take the Terry side. Good. Now you can mansplain everything about Hawaii to him. Use the leverage. What? Oh, to Avery. I was like, what are you talking about? Aldi? No, I was like, yeah, with Avery. No, it honestly was funny. Avery was like low key mad and exasperated. He was like, are you kidding me? He was like, I was going to flex and tell you guys that I was going on this trip and it was going to be our trip. And now you're doing the same thing. It's like, come on, we can share in the enjoyment of the trip. But no, it was funny. I have a wife. Congrats straight out of college. Yeah, thank you. My wife and I dated all throughout high school, so we got married in college a couple years ago. We've been married for like 2 years. Can I get some advice, brother? Yeah, sure, Johnny. Been offered Tua for Shador. I have Dak and Caleb. Dude, oh my gosh. Take it and run. You have Tua on a multi-million-dollar contract who's locked in for the next 3 years for Shador, who's a 5th-round quarterback that the moment he gets an opportunity and sucks, he will never get an opportunity again. Trying to upgrade my wide receiver room. I'm willing to give Waddle and B-Rob. Who should I target? Try to get up to Odunze. I went really receiver heavy in my draft, and I only have like 2 starting QBs. I have Flacco and Gabriel. I'm thinking of trading for either Dak or Fields, who is a better bet. Dak. Dak's a better bet. Dak's more insulated than Fields is objectively with the contract. I did a little contract research with all the QBs in that middle range. I was curious about all their outs and all the real money that's actually tied to their contracts and when they're cuttable. In terms of like what dead cap would look like, all of them are pretty much locked in for the next 3 years. So 3-year windows, insulated. Guy with T has Gibbs, Brees, Chuba, and Monty. Guy with AJ Brown is Kyron, Chase Brown, and Cook. Who should I down tier to from Nico? Let's go Nico for T and Brees, or Nico for AJ Brown and... Ooh, man, you could try Kyron. That might be tough. Honestly, you start there. Start there and try AJ Brown and Kyron. If not, you can maybe do AJ Brown and Chase Brown. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Trevor Sigma and Connor and the FSC guys have done vids on the 26 class. Okay, I got you, Dylan. Gap between Chase and CD in Dynasty, not as big as is consistently demonstrated in drafts. Both of them have been wide receiver 1s overall. When you look at, this is interesting. So when you look at like actual upside on a year-to-year basis, CD had 403 total points in 17 games in 2023 as a wide receiver 1 overall. I think he was the 2nd most productive player in fantasy that year. And Chase was right there, 403 points this year. And he's been wide receiver 11, wide receiver 12. He's missed time, just like CD. No, this is one where like in Dynasty, I do view them in the same tier. I think we did a video a couple weeks ago. It was a good point by Avery. It's not one that I thought about. I think it was that we would overpay for these players. And by overpay, I mean like we would pay pretty much the same price that we would pay pretty much the same price for CD that we would for JJ and Chase, but you're actually having to pay less for CD Lamb, when in reality that just shouldn't be the case, given what they've demonstrated in terms of production, the insulation that they all have. So, yeah. Trading Saquon for wide receiver Tet and running back AK, a good trade. Try to get a little more than Alvin Kamara there. Actually, hang on a second. No, Tet and Saquon are right close to each other, aren't they? Where the heck did Saquon go in this draft? Oh, he went at the 111. Okay, because it was the redraft stuff. Yeah, whoops. Yeah, no, I think that's a fair deal, actually. I rescind my original comment. Is it worth removing Gibbs in a struggling running back room for the 101 and the 201, or should I stay and just build around him? It's essentially Gibbs for Genty and a pick at the 201. You can stick with Gibbs there. I'm fine with you going with Gibbs. Would you move Hawk and Juwan Jennings for Downs and Pacheco? No. Not enough there. I wouldn't move Downs. Hawk alone is greater than Downs. Pacheco is nothing compared to... we are super low on Pacheco in Dynasty. I would take Juwan Jennings in Dynasty over Pacheco. What's the max first round picks you would trade away for a top player? 3. Any more than that gets a little over the top. Over the top being like, is it worth it in the short run? Yeah. is it worth, sacrificing all of that potential value upside over multiple years? Because assuming all those picks are going to be let me put it this way. It's easier to put it this way. I would rather take those individual 4 picks and move them for individual players and get way better value return. That type of thing, if that makes sense. Packaging them all is just kind of diminishing the value that you could get out of those assets individually. Currently rebuilding with Jaden and Rome from last year's draft. I have the 102, 107, 108, 112. And we're looking at Omar, Quinchon, Caleb, and Golden. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty good. I think that's a good plan. I have Igbuka, Harris, and Besh all on my bench. Is it worth trading away Besh plus more for Dak? I mean, Besh plus what's the more on top of Besh? I'd take Besh and Harris and get Dak. I don't care. London for Quinchon and Rome. Not bad. Those are 2 4th-round guys for a 2nd-round guy. I think it's definitely worth it. Hey, what do you guys think about this deal, by the way? I've been going back and forth on this trade. I've been this close to accepting it, this close to rejecting it. I am getting offered Omarion Hampton and Jonathan Taylor and giving up Brian Thomas Jr. What do you guys think about that? BTJ or Hampton and JT? Already have Odunze. I'm the guy who traded Devonta Smith for him. Oh, I got you. You think Indy will move off JT this season or next? They will not move off of him this season unless it's such a train wreck that they're 0-8 heading into the trade deadline. Then they would just offload him for something, potentially. But no, I do not think he's an Indianapolis Colt in 2026. Hey, what's up, Postway? Really need a piece to compete in my 14-team league. Who should I target with my late first? It totally depends on what your team build's looking like, man. Are you wide receiver, running back heavy, etc.? I need a little more context there. I have a 25-1-3, and I'm pretty sure my league will go Genty, then Hunter. Do I take Hampton or Tet? I would go Hampton there. If Hampton's going to fall to you at the 103, we kind of view him in the same tier. If you saw the rookie rankings, updated rookie rankings video that we came out with today on the channel, check that out. We have Hunter and Hampton in the same tier. I think we actually have Tet in that tier as well. I would prefer Hampton. BTJ. Do you need the running backs? Yeah, I'm a wide receiver factory. Hampton and JT, so far it's 3-1. If you have enough receivers, take Omar and Taylor. That's kind of the general sentiment I've been getting, is it's kind of situational. But at first glance, everyone's saying BTJ, so I might hold off because it actually is a deal with Avery. Avery is pretty big on BTJ, so I know he likes... Obviously, I know he likes his side more than mine because he wouldn't be offering it to me. But, yeah. If you're contending, take the RBEs, yeah. It's the deal with Avery, yep. Just curious why you guys aren't high on Trey Harris. Thanks. Yeah, so we've mentioned this multiple times in a lot of our videos when it comes to the offensive situation for the Chargers. Trey Harris, not only skill set wise is he a deep threat field stretcher, speedster type of guy, which means not consistent target volume. You also have him in the least ideal offensive situation that you could ask for a wide receiver too. When you look at Greg Roman offenses historically, dating all the way back to his San Francisco days, in the early 2010s, there has never been a wide receiver 1 and running back 1 produce at the same time in the same year. Those are the top options for running backs and wide receivers. Wide receiver 2 is catastrophically low. I just feel like kind of got to read the tea leaves. They just spent a first-round pick on Omarion Hampton in a Greg Roman offense. I think people are trying to overcomplicate the situation and try to rationalize hyper production for multiple assets in that offense. And I'm telling you guys, we're already being optimistic, assuming that Ladd's going to be a wide receiver 1 and Hampton's going to be a running back 1. because we technically have never seen it before. So there's no room for Harris to be consistently productive. He has very little value upside. He could have some big games, but no, he will not be consistently productive. I view him as a Bateman at best. If you have T-Mac, Odunze, and Hunter, should I try to trade one of them for Marv? I mean, yeah. Try to move Odunze for Marv. All right, guys. This first mock is up. Let me do this thing called create a copy. What? I just created a copy and it did that to me? Are you serious? Okay, fine. Draft settings. 2 QB. Oh, it created the copy for me. All right. Cool. Oh, you guys saw my hang on a second. Okay. All right, we'll get this next link out to you guys. Copy, invite, link. All right, guys, hop in, and we'll get another one started here. BTJ, but close, real close. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sounds like the edge is for BTJ, though. Pretty consensus. Keep BTJ and trade for the rookie running back that starts slowest behind their 1-year deal veteran. So I do have Henderson and CMC. Right now I'm flexing Rasheed and Olave. If I made that deal for BTJ, I would move Rasheed into my wide receiver 3 spot, and I would be flexing Hampton and JT. Flexing. Which would push Olave down to my bench, which would be ideal. Let Avery pay up with an extra first. Yeah, he won't do that. Sean said, Sachi mentioned on Discord, but wondering your thoughts on Gibbs and Darnold for Henderson, JS, and McCarthy. Third round reversal. It is not third round reversal. We're going to get this started. Here we go. Boom. Yeah, Sachi messaged on Discord. Gibbs and Darnold for Henderson, JSN, and McCarthy. So essentially it's Jahmyr Gibbs for JSN, Henderson, and McCarthy. I'd take the package there. I think that's a good down tier move. I like the value return that you're getting there. 1 to 10, how concerned are you about Ladd? I know you talk about trading high before. Can't seem to move him. And worried he's going to drop some this season. Yeah, there's a chance that he could. I will say I think Ladd is closer to his value ceiling than anyone else in his current tier where he's being drafted. I think JSN has higher value upside, Marv has higher value upside, Travis has higher value upside. If you're talking safety, that's kind of another conversation because Ladd in his situation is very safe. He will always be the top option. He will always be the wide receiver 1. And you know, Herbert's throwing him the ball. So I understand the sentiment with Ladd. I will say this. I don't think you're selecting Ladd expecting a lot of value upside out of him. If you want more reliability in him maintaining his value, because if he like disappoints and is a high-end wide receiver 2 again this next year, he's still going to be a 3rd, 4th round guy. He won't fall that far. Here we go. This is looking more like a normal draft because the ADP is actually right. Bijan Bowers start at the 112 and 201. Ballsy. Leaving those first 2 rounds without at least 1 wide receiver is ballsy. Nico at the 2.5, definitely on the highest possible end where I would take him. Actually, that's where I would not take him. Market value wise, though, that's the highest where it's reasonable. But I personally would not take him there. Show player card. See, check this out, guys. Nico Collins, 26 years old, going on 27. I looked up his contract situation. He's kind of locked in for the next 2 years. Misses a lot of time. every year. What do you guys think the chance is that Nico... No, let's do it this way. This time, next season, where is Nico Collins being drafted in Dynasty startups? Go. Is Walker we're trading for or a liability? Depends on what you're paying for him. I've seen him go for pretty cheap. I've seen him go for way too hefty of a price. So I think it depends. There goes Marv, JSN, Wilson, all in the same tier together. Mid-third, AJ Brown range. So that's mid-third to fourth. Early third. London greater than Nico. Which QB would you pivot from? I have Stroud, Bryce Young, and Penix. I would pivot from Stroud and Bryce. Fourth round. Okay, guys. I mean, if we're even expecting mid-third, if we're expecting him to fall a full round from where he's going, then he is the worst pick in the second round right now in Dynasty drafts. Objectively. Holy Bucky. Jeez Louise. Bucky going in the second here. I'm sorry. In the second round of a Dynasty startup draft, you're looking for insulation. And the last thing you want to do is draft a guy who you know is going to lose value. Okay, Mario's being a little more aggressive. He thinks late second. I mean, if that's what you think, then that's how you would rationalize taking him there, right? Well, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you believe that Nico's going to lose value next season, then how can you rationalize taking him in the second round? If you believe that he's going to maintain, that's a different conversation. May's been falling. I don't know if it's a domain thing. I don't know how many like mock drafts you guys are a part of or other startups that are like non-domain leagues, but May, at least in domain drafts, has been going early to mid-third, which is a way more palatable price for him, man. That's way better. I mean, you're talking about a guy who we were used to seeing go on 1-2 turn. Yeah, and Dylan, like, honestly, I wouldn't even... The con against Nico and why he's going in the second is, to me, if it were up to me, I would not knock him because of his age. I don't care if he's 26 or 27. His 3-year outlook's going to remain the same. I think the Dynasty community freaks out way too much about 27-year-old wide receivers. But here's the reality. The Dynasty community freaks out about 27-year-old wide receivers. So they lose value and they fall by default. This is what happened with AJ Brown, guys. Like... I don't want to, talk myself up or anything, but I kind of freaking nailed that this year. Like, I knew that when the season was over, when we were far enough removed from the season, that people were going to realize that AJ Brown was the big 2-7, he was going to lose a round of value. And he did. And then he became a buy. So it's a really, really easy, it's like clockwork. It's a really easy game to play to get small value wins within within a calendar year. Because you'll get a value win if you bought AJ Brown at mid to late fourth round prices or early to mid fourth round prices. You're going to get a value win there in the middle of the season when he's dropping 15 plus every week. Nico's too high this season, IMO. I'm with you. He can't stay fit. Yeah, that's my biggest concern for him is, like, not only does the Dynasty community freak out about 27-year-old wide receivers, so the likelihood that he's going to maintain that value is incredibly low, but that's also assuming that he's going to stay healthy an entire year. I don't care if he's, if he stays healthy all year, then he's probably a top 6 wide receiver. But I mean, guys, he not only does he miss time for things the last couple of years, but it's been the same injury. He has been battling a hamstring injury, and it is consistently the same injury every single time. So I'm 100% worried about that. Would you trade Nico in a 1 away for CD? I would. CD's more insulated. Obviously, these guys up here are like more immune to the 27-year-old thing, because like JJ's 26, he'll be 27 next offseason. Chase, I think, is 25 still, so he's got. But Lamb is also 26. These guys are a little bit different though, because they're in a tier of their own. So I don't think the community is panicky enough to apply that logic to those top 3 guys. They're almost untouchable. And they will be for the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, they are the wide receivers of our age. So. And Puka, but I'm partial, so. If Puka stays healthy, dude, that man is the freaking best. He is the absolute bomb. Chase Brown, the 5th. Didn't we just see him go in the 7th last round? Or last draft? Here's your run of running backs again. Just like I was talking about. Henderson, Brees, Judkins, JT, and Kyron. All going here. Pretty consistent. Kyler in the 5th is on the lower end of where I usually see him go. He'll go a lot of times 3-4 turn. Purdy, that's on the higher end of where I usually see Purdy go. All right, guys, we got 145 people watching, 42 likes. If you have not dropped a like on the stream, go ahead and do that. I encourage you to drop a like on the stream. Highly encourage. What are you guys doing for the 4th of July next week? Let me know. I will say, one of the best 4th of July experiences that I ever had was in Montana. We went to Montana for the 4th of July back when I was in high school. And we went to this place called Red Lodge, Montana. And it's basically like a little town in the valley going right up to the Rocky Mountains where Beartooth Pass is. Beartooth Pass is that road that you take through the Rockies, and it gets you to the entrance of Yellowstone if you take it all the way through. So it's right at the foot of Beartooth Pass, this little town. And you go up like on this hill that looks down into the valley, and it gets dark and all the lights are on. And then the fireworks go off on the other hill on the other side of the valley. And the fireworks would echo off the mountainside. Most incredible 4th of July experience I've ever had. I would go there and do it again. It was awesome. Traded JT, Giddens, and Otten for a 26 first and 2nd, and Gadsden. That 26 first could be more valuable than JT heading into next year. I think it's a lateral move. I probably would have given the edge to JT, though. Are we holding Marv or packaging for a proven Lamb, Puka, or BTJ? Depends on what you're packaging to get one of those guys up top. It really does. And on your team build. Lake House with the boys. Let's go, dude. Tiny Goose lives an hour from Red Lodge. Dude, that place is awesome. Congratulations to you for living an hour from Red Lodge. Montana's a cool state, man. Fireworks over a lake 200 feet away. Nice. Your buddies are hosting 6 annual fireworks show, 6K in mortars in an hour with a crowd of 150 friends and family with a big buffet. Oh yeah, man, that is the American way. That's what I'm used to. We usually do that every year. We go to one of our friend's house. Actually, they're not in-laws, because it's my they are like they're a family where my sister's brother is married to one of their kids. But anyways, they're friends from our church, and they always host a buffet and stuff, and there's always like 50 plus people that are there, and they usually do a fireworks show. I don't think they're doing one this year, actually, but yeah, let's be honest, we all go there for the food. And they have a pool, so it's pretty nice. Arcris says, when domain convention? Are you talking about like a meetup, like a convention, like the Dynasty domain convention? We're gonna bring like all of our old relics, do a giveaway, like the original Dynasty domain flag with like the old logo. I don't think you understand how many old relics we've kept from like the OG days. Avery and I are like very sentimental people when it comes to some of the old props and things that we had. It's like stuff that you guys wouldn't even know about. Yes. Oh man, a convention. Yeah, I will say, if there's enough people in the Midwest area around, you know, obviously we're we're in Indy, south side of Indy, so we could set up a meetup here if we got like probably 30 people to come do it. Yeah, the flock meetup. So I think we're doing a meetup in Austin again this year. Don't quote me on that. I don't want to get in trouble. But we did one last year, the week of when we filmed the Flock League and stuff, and that's in August. So yeah, the turkey hat, dude, story with that. I don't have the turkey hat anymore. It got thrown away. I know, it's really bad. I know I'm gonna have to buy another one. They're just on Amazon. Like I can buy another one. It looks the same. Yeah, Mason said he was doing it the week of the draft. Okay. My brother, this is Aunt Bosa. My brother and I co-own our team, the Bosa Boys, and we watch your videos the hour they launch. We text each other every time a video drops. So shout out, y'all. Love the content. Aunt Bosa, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for all the support. That's awesome. Love the team name too, the Bosa Boys. Avery and I, when we started getting into Dynasty, Mason was pretty much, he was, you know, he was doing a ton of Dynasty content there as well. So Avery would always be texting me different things with like his rankings and stuff too. Dynasty Nerds, all those guys still going. They're still great. So I know the feeling, man. That's not to say that we don't still do it. We'll still watch content and be like, hey, check this out. Do you think I could fetch a London or JSN for Stroud and Olave? London or JSN for Stroud and Olave? Yes. I think you could try for London. Start high. Oh, thanks, Josh. Nice profile pic. Including subscribers for the convention or meetup? Is that what you're talking about? Probably, yeah. Love the Dynasty Nerds, guys. Yeah, man, they are the OGs. They started Dynasty content pretty much. They're more, you know, podcast style and stuff. Has Neighbors been going consistently past the mid-first? So, consistently past the mid-first? Yeah, he usually goes 1.9 to 112. I don't think I ever really see him go past the 112 anymore. Goff feels criminally underrated. Top 10 QB, 3 years running, only 30 years old as a pocket passer. What am I missing? You're not missing anything, man. You're 100% right. I totally agree with you. I think the biggest concern now, and the reason he's being shorted, is because Ben Johnson is no longer running that offense, which is fair. But no, I'm with you, dude. I think he's one of the most underrated, highly productive quarterbacks that will never be valued equal to his level of production on an annual basis. And it's just because of his style of play, honestly. He doesn't have rushing upside, so you just kind of know what you're going to get. If we're so worried about Nico, why isn't Jaden Higgins valued higher? I think if Nico gets hurt again, Higgins will. You're right about that. Or Higgins will dominate. Yeah, no, he definitely could. He obviously has to show that he can do it at the NFL level, but I agree with you, and it's why I have Higgins ranked over Besh, and I think even Burden. Maybe I have Burden ranked over him because Burden's prospect profile is a lot better, but I have Higgins pretty close. I think I'm at fantasy overload all the content I watch. Dude, can never get enough. I'm a freaking content creator and I can't get enough. I'm always soaking in content, whether it's real fantasy or dynasty content or like general sports content. I'm always taking it in. I gotta stay informed on stuff. So always in it. Adams in the 8th, Reek in the 8th, Judy in the 8th. 7th and 8th looking like a bunch of vets going here. Evans, DK. Terry in the 5th. That is rich. Whew. Man. Warren and Kittle going back-to-back, 6th in the middle of the 6th round. I like Warren's price in the 6th round. I really do. Cannot lie. I really do. Here's Tua in the 9th. Downs right there by him. You know, one of my favorite things to do this time of year is once we really get a grip on fantasy ADP for redraft is we start cross-referencing like production outlooks. And obviously ADP is a reflection of what we expect production-wise from players, whether it's on Underdog, ESPN, Yahoo, etc. And some of these guys, like the production expectation that we have for these players, like does not line up with where they're being ranked in Dynasty. It's like, why do we expect, if we're drafting Rashee Rice in the 3rd round of fantasy drafts, why the actual heck is he going in the 4th round of Dynasty drafts? Like, dude, if Rashee Rice is a 2nd to 3rd round producing asset in fantasy next year, he's a top 2 round pick next year in Dynasty. So those types of things, it's fun to start breaking that down. It's a nice reality check too as well, because there'll be guys that we're pretty high on that we rank high, and then we are like, oh, I don't think he's going to do that much here, and then you're like, then why do you rank him that high in Dynasty? It's like, okay, yeah, you might be right, because sometimes production does directly impact the value of a player. When do you think Caleb can jump to round 1 again? He rushed for a lot last year too. I think it's going to be this year. That's why we've advocated for people to buy him in blueprints, to down tier to him. I think his round 1 upside is this year. Too rich and Brady TV. Nathan, what do you think about the offer? What offer? Did you send me a trade in a league? Not sure what offer you're talking about, brother. You have to let me know. All right, guys, we're getting close to finishing this mock. Just a few rounds left, and then we're going to do some blueprints. Actually, I'm going to go over here and answer an interesting super chat. While we're at it, because I can. Screen change because I gotta pull this one up so you guys can actually see it. Here you go. Now you can see. I'm going to answer a super chat real quick here, because I think it's interesting to talk about. Oh my gosh. Here we go. This is from Nate93. He says, starting a new Dynasty league, setup is 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 flex. So that is 1 QB, start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a 1 QB, start 8. How should I build my roster depth? So a couple of things here. Roster depth does not matter as much in a 1 QB, start 8. So that would be the number one comment I have for you, is let's try to maximize like the upside opportunity. That does come in more like trades that you're going to make after the draft though. When it comes to how you draft, number one thing I would say is don't prioritize quarterback unless Allen or Lamar falls to a way lower range than you generally expect in this area. I would not prioritize quarterback. Just let them fall and get the cheapest of that big range of guys that all have QB1 upside. Purdy, Goff, Dak, Penix, Lawrence, Baker, whoever's fallen there, that's the lowest. You can take them in the later rounds. Let's go wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver. Let's lock down the insulation there. As you saw in this sleeper mock that we've been doing, you guys can't even see my freaking... That is so obnoxious. What in the world? Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to get this fixed. Why did it change to that? This is an easy fix, so. It changed it. That's so weird. Here you guys go. Here you go. Anyways, the reason I mentioned taking wide receiver up top first is because there's a wide range of running backs that are going in like the 4th-ish rounds of startup drafts right now that a good amount of them have solid value upside, especially the rookies like Quinshawn and Henderson going in that range. You can pass up on the high-end running backs, get wide receivers, insulate your value, and then get those upside running backs later. And then tight ends is a luxury item. It's not your priority. Again, if you get a good value there, you can take it and adjust on the fly, but that's what I would recommend for this team. So hopefully that makes sense, man. I think that was a good question, Nate. And then a trade question from GH Steel. 26 late first and BTJ for Ladd and Worthy. This isn't a reload. Negative. I would move BTJ for Ladd and Worthy. This is what I would do. I think that's fair. But no, I'm not paying a first on top of BTJ. You're giving him the most valuable player in the deal and giving him a first on top. That's not good enough. This is a fair deal. So yeah, just wanted to answer those real quick so you guys could see. I thought you'd find that interesting for just some startup draft strategy when it comes to 1 QB leagues. So closing this out here. Again, nothing super crazy here. Hawk and Loveland going back to back in the middle of the 7th. Like I mentioned earlier, all your veteran wide receivers kind of going in this range. It just gets really ugly here. I will say my philosophy on startup drafts has changed a lot, where I don't think I'll ever touch these types of guys. Pacheco, B-Rob, ETN, even Ridley. I'd rather just pay for him post-draft. In a startup draft, you're really just trying to maximize the value upside opportunity that you can get to get a leg up over your league mates long term. And when you're taking guys that you know are just going to lose value essentially immediately, to me, it's like to me, it's like buying a brand new car, and the moment it's out of the parking lot, it loses 15 to 20% of its value. Like, and that's even optimistic with guys like Pacheco and ETN and Pollard. Like, they will not be ranked higher than where they currently are. So I know the production opportunity can be attractive there, even as a team who's looking to contend. But in a startup drafts are done in the off season. They're not done during the season. You can worry about getting production wins once the season is about to start, and you're really just trying to get value wins when you're doing a startup draft. So I'm almost always pre-draft, I'm taking rookie picks here. Post-draft, I'm taking rookies, second-year guys that are insulated, that haven't really shown much yet, like a Keon Coleman shot in this range is not bad. Those types of things. And I'm not even high on Keon, but like those are the types of shots that you want to take. Yeah, thanks, Dylan. I like the solo streams every now and then. They're laid back. I love it. Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I heard, I remember back in January, I was out for 2 or 3 streams, and I heard really good things about it. And, you know, like GH Steele said, Avery talks 100 times faster than I do. So he probably got, 3 times the amount of content in a stream that I can get. So no, it's also nice selfishly to just be in our home offices to stream every once in a while, because we do a lot of driving during the week between recording content and videos and stuff. You guys should have seen us the week before Avery left for vacation. We recorded, I think, 12 videos in a week, and we were like shot. It was rough. Nathan, when are we getting your early 26 rookie videos? I want to get hyped for my likely 101. Hunter, we will get to it. We might do an early look in July. That would probably be the earliest that we would do it. I'll advocate for a 26 class sneak peek in July though, for you guys. Probably once we get to August, there will be too much news and training camp stuff going on, and then obviously the Flock League, DFF content as well, that we might not get to it there, because there will be a good amount of news that we'll want to talk about, and buys and sells, preseason buys and sells, but we might be able to fit one in July. Oh, you know it, Lectra. Except it's not my birthday. You don't know my real birthday. Must be rough not touching grass ever. What do you mean? Am confused. Would you trade Worthy and Kyle Williams for Rice? Yeah, that's Worthy. That's literally essentially just that's Xavier Worthy for Richie Rice. Yes, I prefer Rice over Worthy in a vacuum. All right, guys, nice startup drafts. Good stuff. Let's pivot over. Let's do some team reviews tonight. Looks like it's a little chill tonight. We got 119 watching. So again, if you guys are wanting to get a team review in, link is pinned in the comments for you guys up there. Dynasty domain, get a live team blueprint. So you just go to the personal advice tab, slide up to live team blueprint so that I know that it's live. And again, if you sign up for the annual Mother Flocker tier, if you haven't done that yet, sign up for the annual Mother Flocker tier, use code domain, you'll get a free team review voucher, team blueprint voucher, and you don't have to upgrade to a live. If you sign up for the annual Mother Flocker, I'll just do it for you. That's the other option there if you are able to do that. So let's do some of these. Why did it do that again? That is so weird. That is so weird. There we go. Sorry, guys. Man, I'm really showing off my, amazing production skills right now. Absolutely amazing. Unmatched. Have to reconfigure this. Yay. We back. Okay. Cole Whittier, first up, my man. Let's do this. What's up, brother? Welcome in. I feel like a Ghost Energy sponsorship could help you match Avery's words per minute and bring some energy to these solo streams. What do you mean, dude? I'm bringing plenty of energy. I've got the Legos. I've got the backdrop. I've got, you know, football talk. Come on, that's a ton of energy. What are you talking about? All right, cool, Woody. Let's check this team out for you. He says that this is a new startup. I tried to collect value or possible risers. I lean to a 1-year punt and reload, but don't know if I could compete now. I have some trade interest in Drake May and Josh Allen. Would like to get an elite wide receiver, shoved off running back in draft because they were going early. QB fell, so I took 3 in the first 6 rounds. Okay, let's check this out. Let's take a look at your build. Team name here is going to be Cole Whitaker. Cole Whitty. Yeah, I get it. I mean, it looks like value-wise, coming out of a startup, you are quite a bit above your league mates. And again, quarterback's going to be a good reason for that. I'll tell you what, though, dude. Holy, yeah, you're contending this year. I mean, for a guy that was looking to potentially punt for the year, the haul that you were able to get in the startup draft is going to make you one of the top contenders in the league this year. And I'm very confident in saying that. I mean, that'll be comment number 1 for this team is phenomenal startup draft. Even in a 10 team, this is really good. You have the value to contend this year for sure. Top contender. Okay, let's grade this out. Good question, Caleb. You said a couple weeks ago I subscribed to the annual Mother Flocker tier and filled out the swag box form. Any idea when those will be arriving? Caleb, go ahead and submit a ticket in the domain customer support channel on Discord, and we will get you helped out there. That should be no problem. And if you can't find that, you can send me a DM and I'll direct you to that channel. But we'll help you out with that. Appreciate you reaching out for that, man. Cody said, can you read the team? I'm driving and can't see. Yes. So I'm going to grade this out so you guys will see or be able to hear. So we got Allen and Drake May and Purdy. Again, this is a 10-team super flex half tight end premium start 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is actually start 9. Still at QB, that's going to be one of the better ones in the league. I'll give you a 9. Henderson, James Conner, and that's it. Still not bad. I'll give you a 3 there. Wide receiver, you have Nico, Tet, Olave, Ayuk, Golden, Godwin, Jennings. I mean, that's got to be an 8. And then Loveland and Njoku will get you at least a 7. I'll give you an 8 there as well. 9, 3, 8, 8. You're not supposed to see that out of a startup draft, especially in a 10 team. He was able to pull it off. I think it was very, very, very good stuff. Definitely going contend, reload here. And then archetype-wise, I think we're going to go, even in a 10 team, we'll go with dual elite QB. I will never be able to figure out how to get the animation thing to work. I know I'm doing something wrong. Okay. DEQ. I mean, your depth score is really, really solid. I mean, on your bench right now, you're looking at Njoku, Godwin, Golden, Jennings, Purdy, and like freaking Spears, Ramondre. I mean, this is really good. You have the value to up tier, bro. And a 10-team start 9, you absolutely have the value to up tier. So looking at some moves here. You got all your future picks too. You didn't trade any future picks. You have an extra 27 first. How do you have an extra 27 first straight out of a startup with this lineup? Good gosh. I get it's a 10 team, but still. Moves. Running back. We're gonna move an asset straight up for a running back. I like Ayuk. I wouldn't say I love him. I like Ayuk. And his value, you don't even need him. Just get another position. Go running back. Loveland and Njoku, I'm actually fine with you holding both of those guys because Loveland's probably going to come on and be a little slow this year, given that situation. And Njoku can kind of cross you over for or bridge the gap for a year while Loveland's developing. Allen, May, Purdy. I mean, I like the upside of those top two QBs. This is rare that I would recommend this. Honestly, we're probably going to stick with your QBs, really. I don't think I'm going to have you down tier from any of them. I was going to have you potentially down tier from Purdy. I don't think you need to because he's going to be less valuable in a 10 team anyways. Let's take Ramondre and Spears and up tier. And then we will take... You do have a good amount of young guys, obviously, in your starting lineup right now. You have 1, 2, 3 rookies. Potentially 4 if you have to plug in Golden. Godwin will help with that, though. Let's pivot off of Nico. We were just talking about this earlier. Let's just go get a guy that we're more confident is going to maintain his value. We'll take Drake London. That'll be a good target for this team. I think the rest are going to be running back targets, honestly. They don't have to be super expensive. They can be Henry, they can be Chuba, they can be Kamara. Comment number 2 for this team, strategy point number 2. You have impressive depth out of a startup draft. Take advantage and make some up tiers given the start 90 league format. And then just focus on maximizing the production upside of your flex spots. Get some cheap RB vets. To fill out your depth, essentially. Tell you what, man, looking at a startup draft, that's one of the better ones that I've seen. You did a really good job working your league in this startup. So, well done. Hats off to you. Dual elite QB, looking to move Ayuk, Nico, Ramondre, and Spears. Targeting Henry, Chuba, Kamara, and Drake London. Let me know if you have any questions, any follow-ups here. Feel free to send me a DM on Discord. Happy to help you there as well. So, great job. Okay, next question. We'll reset this. We will clear that so you don't see the archetype anymore. And again, guys, feel free to drop a like if you have not already. All right, next up here, we got Shore Fun. This is a 12-team start 11. 12-team start 11. Okay, so it's going to be it's going to be a deeper league. I tried to, sorry, hang on a second. I looking at the wrong one. What's our team name here? Angel Reese Fan Club. Oh no. That's the team name here. Okay. So 12 team start 11, 0.75 tight end premium, 0.5 first down bonus. Whew, that's pretty crazy. One team hoarded tight ends. Guy is pretty toxic in chat. I didn't seek out rookies. Value appeared. Need guidance on where to steer the ship, trade and compete, or ride it out for next year. Okay. Let's look into this. Angel Reese Fan Club. Brady said, Nathan, it's the guy from the AJB messages on Discord. You have to let me know what you're talking about, Brady. All right, so it looks like you're 5th in the power rankings here, pretty even league. Again, I'm assuming this, I think you were implying that this was a startup. You do have all your future picks here. Middle of the pack. All right, let's break this down. Great wide receiver room. Best wide receiver room in the league. Good draft capital grade. Lamar, Caleb, Love in a 12-team Superflex, and Cam Ward. Jeez Louise. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong team. I'm looking at Roberts. Angel Reese Fan Club. Lawrence, Tua, Dart. Probably going to be like a 3. No more than a 4. Harvey, Scatterboot, Tootin, Spears. That'll be another 3. Wide receivers, Puka, Neighbors, Tet, Hunter, Keon, Tillman. That's an 8 or a 9. We'll go 9. And then Fryermuth is a 1. 3-3-9-1. Looking at your starting lineup here, we're looking at Lawrence, Harvey, Scat, Puka, Neighbors, Tet, Fryermuth, Hunter, Coleman, Tootin, and Tua. So what makes this difficult is it's already a deeper league. Now everyone's going to struggle with depth in this league format. This is where I start to look at the other guys in the league to see how they match up against your team. You're better than this team. Actually, you're close to this team. Production outlook wise, you're closer to this team. He's a little more well-rounded. Similar. He's going first heavy as a future value. I mean, looking at just your positional grades, you're right in the middle of the pack there again. This guy has a ton of quarterback value. He's not a top contender unless he moves those QBs. Oh man, this team's really good. Oh, his QBs are jank. Okay, dude, I'm going to give you wide receiver factory. We're going to go contend, reload. These are always tough. These honestly are probably some of the most difficult leagues for Avery and I to navigate when we're reviewing them because we're so used to like an ideal starting lineup build and all that's kind of just turned upside down when you're looking at a super deep league format. We'll go contend, reload for now. And we will go wide receiver factory. Got it to work this time. And yeah, I know what we're going to prioritize here for sure. We're going to have to make a move at wide receiver. We just are. Like, I don't want to sacrifice your opportunity there, but I know what deals we got to make. So we need to down tier from one of Puka or Neighbors, your choice. let's down tier from Puka and go to London. If you get more interest for neighbors or better value return, I'm fine with you doing that as well. Does not matter to me. But let's have you move Puka in this scenario. And let me just highlight in the comments here, like, depth is so hard to come by in a start 11 league format like this. So I would just encourage you to be patient with trades. Your league mates will be more willing to make moves closer to training camp. Second move I'm going to have you make is let's pivot and or down tier from Lawrence. Tua and Dart are fine as your second and third options. It's not ideal, but we can work with it. And then we got to move Coleman for another. We got to move Coleman for a running back. You have 3 rookies that you're looking to probably have to plug into your lineup. We can't afford. We'll take Coleman, Tillman, whatever depth you have here, and try to get some more running back help. Tight end is honestly the last of my concern. Tight end is a luxury item. I'll add that in the comments as well. Tight end is a luxury item. That is the last of your priorities. Focus on RB for now. So looking at down tier targets from Puka, you can go to London, JSN, Marv. I'll go London again in this one. I'll get you a cheap, productive veteran at wide receiver to pair with kind of your young cornerstone core. I'm totally cool if you can get your hands on a guy like Godwin. Down tiering from Lawrence, we'll go Dak or Goff even. I'll shake it up. We'll go Goff. If we want to go value upside, we'll go Dak. Go value upside, we'll stick with Dak. And then again, running back targets, we'll go with a cheap option here. And a more expensive option since you're down tiering from Puka and Dak. So we can go for Kyron or a Jacobs. And then a veteran, we can go for like a Mixon. Dak, Kyron, Mixon, and Drake London. Third comment for this team. The more you can maximize the production upside of your flex spots, the better off you'll be. So, yeah, moving off Puka down to your Lawrence, down to your Coleman, Tillman running back, Dak, Kyron, Mixon, and London. Hopefully that makes sense for this team. This is a wide receiver factory, contend, reload. Definitely not going to recommend that you move off of any of those picks for now until we know for sure that you're going to be contending heading into the season. Just kind of tough to tell when you're at this point of the offseason after a startup draft. In a deeper league format, anything can really happen. So let me know if you have any questions there, man. Any follow-ups, feel free to send me a DM. Appreciate you signing up for this live review, though. All right, guys. Looks like we cleared out the queue. It's a little slower tonight as well. I bet you a lot of you guys are heading out for vacation, week-long vacations. A lot of people are going out. This is, like, I think the week of moratorium. So I'm expecting a little bit of a slower week. So, again, if you guys want to get live blueprints in starting on Monday, like, it's going to be a pretty open queue. We're going to have plenty of time to do reviews. There's probably not going to be much of a wait time. So I hope you guys have a really, really great weekend. Always love talking football, Dynasty, Star Wars, any area of interest that you're interested in. Travel. other sports. Basketball obviously has been a big topic of conversation the last couple of months with the Pacers making a run, but again, gonna be looking forward to hanging out with you guys on Monday. And then you guys were saying 4th of July was on Friday. If it's on Friday, then we probably won't stream on 4th of July. Might do it like a day before or something like that. But appreciate you guys hanging out again. Shorter stream, like I said earlier, but always good to do some startups and some mocks and do some team reviews as well. So have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys on Monday.